G'day from beautiful Perth, where today we're heading to Melbourne. Got my son, got my other son, he's not coming. My wife's coming, but let me tell you first about last night when all of the family for a unique dinner here at Fraser's, which overlooks the city of Perth, which as you can see at night is spectacular, because it's this lad's 21st birthday and we've got him something special. 22 letters. I've written one per year for the last 22 years and tonight he gets to open every one of them.
This has got your dad's name written all over it.
Yeah.
They both wrote to you to open on your 21st birthday.
He's got hours and hours of reading ahead of him now.
Okay.
I wrote that the day you were born, 21 years ago.
He's a YouTuber now. It's not a car though.
Where's the Rolex?
Smooth.
Dad home now?
Today we're flying Qantas to Melbourne. Qantas used to be a magnificent airline, but of late it is an absolute disaster. You can no longer get through to an Australian call centre, you get shunted through to South Africa or the Philippines, and they are clearly poorly trained, and as a result, flying with this airline now is a real pain in the arse. And I've got to say, it should be avoided, and I'm sad to say it. Welcome to one of the best Qantas lounges in Australia, here at Perth Airport, the domestic side. One of the best because they've got freshly cooked pizza. Tonya, Jason and I are travelling on the same flight, and coming up this weekend I'm getting 5 people to sign prints. 4 drivers, Oscar, Esteban, Fernando and Nico Hulkenberg, and 1 team principal. I haven't promoted those yet, so I'll keep that a bit of a secret.
Please ensure you have your boarding pass ready to scan as you pass through the gate.
Here we go again.
Hello.
So what are we flying on today? This is an Airbus A330. It's 20 years old, absolutely full in business, and I think also full in economy, because there's all these Western Australians going over for the Grand Prix at this time of year. Well, we are about an hour and a quarter late taking off on this 3 and a bit hour flight to Melbourne. There's a 3-hour time difference, but on Sunday the clocks roll back an hour in Melbourne, so it's only 2 hours difference from Perth, and that'll mean a time change on our cameras when we are working at the track.
This is the Dandelion Sauvignon Blanc.
For lunch we had a veal ravioli which was rather rich, overly salty. I could only get through half of that. Nice salad, some beautiful sourdough bread, and this dark chocolate bar which is about to be eaten. And it was served by great staff on board. Staff who are let down by that South African call centre I mentioned earlier in this video. It's an absolute shocker.
Hello. I had the chicken salad, but it was just okay. Arrived in Melbourne about 10 minutes ahead of Max Verstappen. How do I know that? Well, a number of you actually sent me pictures of his aircraft being tracked across Western Australia, and he was 10 minutes or so behind us. And very shortly I'll be releasing a new video called F1 Drivers Private Planes, which I think you'll enjoy. Well, this is it, the slowest escalator in the world, coming down to the baggage carousel area here at Melbourne Airport. Tonya's got 2 trolleys and we've got 2 trolleys. It's a trolley fest. If you don't want to pay for a trolley at Melbourne Airport, just come out to the Uber pickup area, which is just outside, and there's an abundance of them most of the time. That green light in front of us is actually travelling at 80 kilometres an hour, and that's the speed in the tunnel. That's the first time I've seen that employed anywhere in the world. This is the weather I'm used to in Melbourne. Cold, grey, rainy, and I'm off to do a podcast with some guys in Queen Street in the city.
Kim, thank you so much for joining the Out of Interest podcast. An absolute pleasure to have you on. Which one is the most famous person that you've met?
My favourite's Will.i.am. He's the one I talk to and chat to. To that end, I've got to go and get Oscar Piastri to sign some prints now.
Perfect.
Well, the podcast went well, and that'll go up, I imagine, the next couple of days on their channel. Now we're going to head back and get some prints for Oscar to sign. Then we're going to his hotel. They've got a function room there, and you'll actually see what goes on when a driver signs 50 prints. We've got a function room at the hotel that Oscar's staying at, and we've got his trainer, Kim Keetle, who's a fellow Australian, and Jonathan, who does some of his social media. And we're just awaiting the arrival of Oscar, where he signs 50 prints. But he's got a whole lot of other stuff here that'll also be signing. And have a look at these T-shirts over here, where they've got the round ring that stretches the shirt out, so the signature looks perfect. Oscar Piastri.
Kim, how are you?
Very good. My son Jace,
Hi, how are you?
who's documenting things.
Very good.
So we're all set up for you.
Lovely.
Got your quad lock on?
Got my quad lock, yeah.
Right. Have a seat, sir.
Thank you very much.
I'll just press record on this and...
Is this for authenticity purposes?
That is for, just as a record in case I muck this up. But what happens is I photograph you signing every single picture.
Yep.
And that goes to the punter as an irrefutable proof of authenticity.
Yes.
So I imagine you'll write here, and then underneath 1/50, 2/50.
Yeah, sure.
And then when we get to number 4,
To Cody.
yeah, and number 28, there's something special there. So whenever you're ready.
Right, and then you go over and do T-shirts after that, mate.
Now, Oscar, I reckon that this is for you. This
Okay.
is my wildlife book. I think your mum will end up with that. That's what he says anyway.
Probably, yes.
Yeah, it's some marvellous pictures of Africa.
Cool. Thank you very much.
So now we have to go and pick up our media passes and our parking pass and then head to the track, because unlike other tracks, there's action on track on Thursday, so the drivers can't do their track walks, so they do them on the Wednesday.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello.
Credentials,
We're dropping up stuff at the media centre.
media center.
Yeah, we're dropping
All right.
up that stuff.
You have got, yes.
We'll let you in for today, but
Yeah, I know,
from
tomorrow,
tomorrow.
no, but-
I spoke to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
We got so much
Alright.
stuff, but thank you.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Melbourne's a diverse city where you're more than likely to experience 4 seasons in a day due to its unpredictable weather. There's much to love about this unique city and its culture. Flinders Street Station is not only a cultural icon, but a bustling transport hub for the city, servicing more than 90,000 passengers daily. It's set on the banks of the Yarra River, and its large copper dome was recently cleaned and restored for the first time in a century. However, when night falls, the station comes alive. Colourful LED lights illuminate the classic architecture, often indicating the celebration of various social and cultural events. The best way to explore Melbourne is via the free City Circle tram, which loops around the city, passing major tourist destinations, including the many arcades and alleyways littered throughout. De Grave Street is an iconic laneway that captures Melbourne's culture in one place. It's filled with cafes and restaurants, a destination for those seeking the famous Melbourneian coffee. A few steps away is Centre Place, another lane full of cafes and restaurants. Hidden gems like this are waiting all over the city for you to explore. A few minutes from Flinders Street Station is the must-see Hosier Lane, the bluestone laneways painted with graffiti and mural artwork that has defined Melbourne's urban art culture. It's a great place to explore and take JPEGs, just like a certain Lando Norris. As you explore the busy streets of Melbourne, you'll find little arcades like the Block Arcade and Royal Arcade. The journey through these mosaic-floored laneways transports you to another era. And don't forget to look up, or you'll miss the soaring glass canopies and unique details. If you visit before or after the F1 circus has been to town, driving the city track in Albert Park is a must. Tall palms line the lake, and a picturesque drive is set to a backdrop of the glistening city in the afternoon sun. This is an F1 experience to whet your appetite. Whether you're here for race week or just to visit, Melbourne is a unique place to explore, so make sure you get out and see all it has to offer. I'm in South Yarra because Valtteri's invited me to the launch of his new gin in this very trendy coffee shop. So let's go and have a look. And this is Valtteri's gin, Oath. I'm not a gin drinker, but that tastes okay to me.
Yeah, it's the collaboration gin of the brand Oak, which is mine and Tiffany's.
Yep.
And Ambleside Distillers from South Australia.
Okay.
It's near Hundorf.
Now, this hairstyle is still going strong.
It is. I had a trim this morning, so now it's fresh.
Right, so Australians love that hairstyle.
Yeah, and Kiwis.
Do they?
Yeah.
When are you going to become an Australian?
I'm waiting for the passport.
Because you've spent a lot of time here, haven't you?
I have, yeah. Last winter, obviously,
Yeah.
Australian summer, quite a bit, and yeah, of course, because of Tiff as well, we want to visit her family, and but I do love it here, so whenever I have a chance, I'm here.
Well, that gin was pretty darn nice, and a major achievement for Valtteri to get that to the market, so full marks to him. He's just a great guy, and I think he would be a very welcomed Australian. If you've enjoyed this video, now is the time to hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't done so, and become a member. You'll find all of my digital images at prostarpics.com for wall art, F1 photo books, signed driver prints, and merchandise. Go to kimillman.com. And on Friday at the track, I'm giving away some prize packages. This one here will be going to Kevin Magnussen for his best beard. And I've got a whole lot of stuff from Revlon going to the top 3 in my I Rank the Drivers Hairstyles video from a couple of weeks ago. And for my best images live from the track, like this one right here, Albert Park, and all through the week, search Kim Illman on Instagram. Thanks for watching, and stay passionate. Just did that podcast, it went well. Had to race home to get a whole lot of prints for Oscar to sign.
Use the left lane.
Shut up!